Good morning, you guys. I just wanted to say in week 4 that I am really happy to have had you so far in this course. Online has been a bit of a challenge for some of you. We've had a couple of different things that have popped up, including VPN issues, textbook issues, all the kinds of things that just sort of encourage and encroach upon things as you start the semester. But now you are entering week 4, which means that which means that you're making some progress. So let's take a look at where we are in this week's course. I'm going to show you what I have here for week 4. You can see that in week 4, our big key point, touch point for this semester, for this particular week, is the writer's notebook, which you've been working on. And for the most part, you haven't shared the writer's notebook with anyone from yourself, and that's kind of the point of a creative writing course, is really to help you develop it. So our point here is to give you a lot of flexibility and freedom to explore the different things that are important to you. We figure as someone or some people who have signed up for creative writing, you have an internal motivation that maybe some other students might not have. But usually this class is live, right? So you're able to see the other people that you're talking to, get to know them, hear their writing in a personal sense because you see it with them. And in this course, being online, that is really different. So this is kind of one of the first times we've done this, and I'm interested to see how you think it works. And we'll have some touch points later on. We'll ask you a little more questions. Perhaps we'll do some polls that'll help us to get a feel better for how it's working for you or not working for you. But this week, I want to remind you that it should feel a little bit like a breather because it's a little less going on in your week. You're going to be turning in that notebook for the very first time. Now, remember that this is graded for completion, so I will not comment on your individual stuff, and partly that's to give you as much freedom as possible to explore your writing. And these are all rough drafts, right? You're exploring, you're brainstorming, you're thinking through the questions. However, I do need to see all of the exercises completed during weeks 1 through 3, and they do need to be well labeled, however you are going to do a writer's notebook. Now, the picture here, that's a picture of an ideal writer's notebook that I would love to have, and I do have several like that around my house everywhere, that I can reach for a notebook and start writing something down when a creative idea sort of pops into my head. But I realize that you guys may or may not have a physical one like this. You might be using your computer, your laptop, your iPad, something else to record these particular answers. So creatively speaking, I do need you to think through, when you turn this in week 4, how are you going to turn it in so that I can access it and see it, right? So what I'll be doing is opening it and verifying that you have done all of the exercises, kind of skimming through it. I'm not going to read it in depth or comment on it, but I am going to skim through it to make sure that their words, they're yours, that you've done them all, and so on. So some of you, who knows how you're going to turn this in, right? This is the first time that I'm seeing this from you. So as long as those things are well labeled, I can find them easily. I can open the file, so make sure that that's a thing. I give you some freedom to do this in any way that works for you, including pictures. However, if you are doing pictures, I do not want you to turn in more than one file, right? So this needs to be one file. So if you're finding a way to do pictures and you send me a ton of files, that is not going to work. So I want you to figure out how can you combine this into one file, so I open one thing per student and I can see it all. Okay, so you're going to have to figure that out, however the case may be. All right, so that's kind of week 4. We have the schedule and the writer's notebook assignment look very similar in this particular week. I want to look ahead a little bit to week 5, because we'll be moving into a different section of creative writing here. But I wanted to again remind you that if you haven't yet found the novel Bridge of Sand by Burroway, and you got to know her a little bit in the last week, so that you can get a feel for her voice. Remember that we are going to be discussing that novel, and you'll have needed to have read it, right? So it is possible that I include some quizzes at some point for the novel to make sure that you have done the reading. I know it's difficult to schedule reading in this day and time, but do continue to think through that. I myself have a physical copy of the book, and that's what I encourage, but I'm maybe a little more old school than you, so there are options for the book online, and I have included some of those here, where you can get a free access to the book if you register. There's other ways, including through your local library, you can access the book, but make sure that you have done that now, so that you are able to do this in the future without panicking, right? There are some bonus videos in here that I've included, which might help you to think through conceptualizing, editing, writing, and even publishing short stories as you'll be writing them. Remember that next week you'll be doing your brainstorming again for exercises, starting with the short stories. So that's going to be giving you an opportunity to see more of fictional stories, types of things from your peers, and that's a new section of our class. So I'm excited to see what you guys come up with. So you'll notice I don't do a whole lot of commenting on the discussion boards, although I am looking through them. That's primarily because I want the interaction to be between you guys. I don't want you to feel fettered or constrained by the way I might send you on a particular thing. I want you to be really thinking through what it is internally that drives you, and what it is that you want to get from the writing itself. This class is a really great way to find motivation for your own voice, your own theme, and I'm sure it'll take you off in many different ways after this course ends. So that is just my quick hello to you for week 4. Again, remember that my office, this is my office, although the camera's not great at this moment in time, but this is my office in LA 127, and you are welcome to stop by during my office hours. I'm usually here Tuesdays and Thursday mornings, but do keep in mind that I have meetings, I have phone conferences, I have Zoom conferences, I have lots of other things that go on during this period of time. So if you want to make sure that I am here, email me, or I do have a Calendly link for setting up meetings. So all of those things are possible for making sure that I'm here specifically for you if you want to sit down with something. Okay, so have a fabulous week 4.